Dr. Sarvepalli Radhakrishnan, a tribute on Teachers' Day, celebrating Azadi ka Amrit Mahotsav, presented by Simajit Kaur, Lecturer English, GM/SSS 15C. The end product of education should be a free, creative man who can battle against historical circumstances and adversities of nature. Happy Teachers' Day to all. India is a vast country with multi-sided diversities like languages, religions, castes, colors, cultures, clothing, etc. The great Himalayas in the north and three oceans embrace India from all the sides. The Mother India has given birth to the great personalities who have scaled soaring heights through their inimitable and worldwide achievements and have influenced many generations with their noble thoughts, ideals, and actions. They dedicated their lives for the sake of the country. Dr. Radhakrishnan is one of them. Dr. Radhakrishnan's contribution to education is unique. Let's have a glance at his life. Dr. Radhakrishnan, the name needs no introduction. A philosopher, a great teacher, a scholar par excellence, a creative genius, a humanist, spiritualist, a man of vision, a man of mission. A few outlines of his personality. He shines like a luminous star in the galaxy of intellectuals. He was the torchbearer of the Indian education. His contribution to the field of education, philosophy, religion, culture, science, etc. was immemorial. Dr. Radhakrishnan defines education as an instrument for social, economic and cultural change. He began his career in Madras in 1909 as a lecturer. In 1936, he was appointed as a professor in Oxford University, London. Further, he was appointed as Vice-Chancellor of Banaras Hindu University in 1939. Because of his wisdom and learning, Rajya Sabha elected him as Vice Chairman and Vice President in 1952. He was appointed second President of India in 1962. Philosophy in simple terms, as per Radhakrishnan, the end product of education should be a free, creative man. He believed that objective of education cannot be achieved without moral education and life would become meaningless. So, he thought due importance should be given to moral values. The world of scientific facts and the world of values are different. If education does not build wisdom and humanity in the hearts and minds of men, all its professional, scientific, and technological triumphs would be meaningless. Education is enlightenment of soul that dispels ignorance and illuminates the individual. He believed that the importance of education is not only in the knowledge and skill, but it is to help us live with us on moral values, the relationship of nature and society. While teaching, teacher should bring child closer to the nature. Radhakrishnan also accepts the importance of internal knowledge for experience in different subjects. Methods of teaching cannot be lecture, cannot be demonstration. It can be question answer and discussion. It should provide adequate opportunities to the students for conversation, debate, discussion and exchange of opinions and thoughts with their teachers. Discipline. According to Dr. Radhakrishnan, discipline plays a very key role in the development of a personality. He believed that the lack of self-control results in a deterioration of standards of scholarship, character and integrity. Yoga and spiritual activities are not possible without discipline. There should be adequate provision for games and other corporate activities. He believed in discipline that only would lead to self-realization. He stresses that the students should be trained to approach life's problems with fortitude, self control, and a sense of balance which the new conditions demand. Role of a teacher. Teacher plays a very important role in the development of a personality. According to Dr. Radhakrishnan, ideal teacher is he warned against idealizing teachers as gurus and becoming a congregation of faith without openness of mind. He encouraged the students to question and criticize their teachers. Secondly, he says that it's not stuffing the mind with facts. It is not the role of the teacher to stuff the mind of a child with facts. We must be able to use what we learn, test it, throw it into fresh combinations. It must become vibrant with power, radiance, and light. He believed that a good teacher must know how to arouse the interest of the pupil in the field of study. He must himself be a master in the field of study and be in touch with the latest developments in the subject. He further says that a teacher who has attained the goal may help the aspiring soul. Only those who have the flame in them can stir the fire in others. Teachers as reservoirs of spiritual blindness. Guru is the combination of two words. According to Radhakrishnan, Gu means darkness and Ru means remove. In our country, look upon teachers as gurus. Andhakar is not merely intellectual ignorance but spiritual blindness. So, who is able to remove that kind of spiritual blindness is called a real guru. Teachers are the reservoirs of this new spirit, the new spirit of adventure in the intellectual matters, in social matters, in political matters. If you do not have that spirit, you cannot communicate that spirit to the youth who are entrusted to your care. Teachers to set example. It is education, it is instruction, it is knowledge, and it is also the example which the teacher gave. Now let us see how relevant is the present education system to the philosophy of Dr. Krishnan. The present education in India suffers from the crisis in character and loss of moral values. In this regard, Radhakrishnan educational thought is very pertinent in order to develop character and moral values. Then all-round development. Radhakrishnan educational thoughts are the combination of idealistic, realistic, humanistic and existentialistic philosophy. It will fulfill the modern aim of education, that is all-round development of the child. Dr. Sarvepalli Radhakrishnan strongly advocated for free and compulsory education for all the children of our country, irrespective of caste, creed, gender and socioeconomic status. In the present education system, it has been achieved. Radhakrishnan supported the idea of equal rights and opportunity to both men and women in the field of education. We see in the present scenario, there is not any discrimination as far as education is concerned. Both are treated equally. India is a multiracial, multilingual, multipolitical and multicultural country which stands in unity in diversity. So he anticipated dynamic model of education in this milieu. India, being a developing country, needs educated citizens, the basic requirement of which is universalization of education. Radhakrishnan advocated for inclusive education with special emphasis on changing the fates of women and the deprived sections of society through education. Then if we talk about spiritual education in India, It should aim at fostering spiritual values, faith in God, good manners, honesty, and fellow feeling. Science helps us to build up our outer life, but another discipline is necessary to strengthen and refine the living spirit. The present education system is unable to develop new enterprises and employment for the youth. In this context, Radhakrishnan's thought on vocational education is quite relevant and useful. According to Dr. Radhakrishnan, national integration is an important aim of education. Religious education, mass education programs like social services, community living, and study of social services were emphasized for the development of nationalism. Radhakrishnan considered international understanding as an important objective of education. It is essential to fight against various problems like terrorism, environmental pollution, poverty, unemployment, and diseases from the world. In the present educational scenario in India, we see teacher-student relationship gradually diminishing due to absence of such good rapport between teacher and taught. Sacred educational and social atmosphere has been polluted. In the present scientific and practice oriented society, people demand that education should be child centered, activity oriented, job oriented, life centered, and community based. All these views are supported by Radhakrishnan. Methods of teaching like observation, experiments, discussion, learning by meditation, textbook method, the relationship of nature and society, real and living examples, question answer, and discussion, close to society and nature, and creative methods, etc., are quite useful for Indian educational institutes. The success of democracy very much depend upon education. He wanted to establish a classless society where there is no exploitation, ill feeling, corruption, inequality, etc. At last, from the above discussion, it is accomplished that Radhakrishnan's educational thoughts, concepts, functions of education, aims, curriculum, methods of teaching, role of teacher are very relevant in the 21st century. Though Radhakrishnan is no more in the world, but the volumes of work done and left with us will inspire the human civilization forever. Thank you and have a good day.